Richard Smallwood is one of the most influential composers in gospel music. And gospel music is one of the most influential Black genres to pop music today. A lot of our favorite singers were growing up in the church, singing in church, and getting their music education from there. And so what I want to do is start to give that to you on this Holy Week. So let's cut to the chase and get to the music. Here's Richard Smallwood and Vision singing Calvary. The reason why they're cheering is because they've heard this song before. This is Richard Smallwood with Vision. Now, Vision is a larger choral ensemble, but a lot of the members of Vision were a part of Richard Smallwood's smaller ensemble, the Richard Smallwood Singers. And some of the soloists that you're going to see are actually sang the original solos on that original recording of Calvary. They've heard this song before, so they're like, oh yeah, let's hear the song again. Go Richard, go Vision, let's do it. Calvary. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So this is Morett Brown-Clark. If you're a gospel head, you know her possibly for It Ain't Over and Just Want to Praise You, which became hits. Is it the same decade as this? And this is 2001. She probably came out with those songs later in the 2000s. She's still a part of Vision. Even at Richard Smallwood's funeral, she was singing. So what I love about Richard Smallwood is that all of his singers just kept so much. They kept being with one another, singing with one another, and just being friends. Like I love I love the continuity of that. One thing that I love about Morett Brown-Clark is she is just so laser sharp with her choices. There's another song that Richard Smallwood has called Angels that she sings a solo for, and she does this really cool chromatic thing. In fact, if you know Gerald, he actually talked to her about it. But that's a little bit of a branch off of this conversation. But for here, you're hearing her come in straight toned, Calvary, right? And she also plays the keys. So you're hearing a lot of choices that are not just the choices of a singer, but a choice of a very well-seasoned pianist. Calvary. I love the push and pull that is on that little idea. A little glissando there to kind of give us a little bit of an anticipation of that note that's coming. And that note that she held is also a reference back to Jackie Ruffins, who sang the original solo, which I believe is on the original recording. I'll play a little bit for you right now. Yeah. Yeah, she's definitely one of those altos that, like, you can hear her alto voice just kind of ringing, and also that just the pitch there is just beautiful. Just hearing her cut through, and sometimes improvisation does not have to be all of the fancy runs and riffs. Sometimes it's just sticking to your note and just giving a convincing statement of that note that holds for a while. That was her there. Oh my, yeah. Calvary. Oh, yeah. Calvary. Calvary. Oh my. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jesus died. Calvary. Yeah. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yeah, okay. Morett Brown-Clark is just such an amazing walker. It's always wonderful to hear how she will navigate notes. And in gospel music, you'll have people that are like runners and riffers, but then the people that I feel like are the most underrated are the people that make good note choices and walk in such a great way. Lisa Page Brooks is another good example. In the more R&B world, Ledisi is a great walker where they have the capacity for runs, but the king of their improvisation is note choice. And so they're kind of choosing and popping these notes that make the melody stand out even more and just give you a wonderful experience. And it works really good as an intro. So great on you, Maurette Brown-Clark. Well, Miss Morett to me. Anyway. Very simple. Woo, right? And of course, going with the movements. Woo, yeah. And then you have Vision coming in also with Charlie. That's also very trademark Richard Smallwood with these. It's like a wave crashing in where you have like the Charlie. Yeah, it's just like it comes. It's like wave and a wave. Beautiful. And then also that run from this is what I mean by walkers. That yeah, it's so well chosen. It's beautiful. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh gosh. Oh, this is so good. Okay, so this is Darlene Simmons. She is one of those soloists that I was telling you about that sang with Richard Smallwood, with the Richard Smallwood singers. She was there, so of course, let her sing the solo again. The continuity is just like the big star of the show here in terms of their loyalty to Richard Smallwood and the vision. There is a sass about the way that she goes about this thing. You can hear immediately just a level of twang and like this slicing timbre to her voice where it's just like, can you hear? Like, it's just beautiful. You also hear a distinct difference in Darlene's timbre to Morett Brown-Clark. Morett was a little bit darker and a little bit more a little bit simpler. Then Darlene develops with this sense of, I almost want to call it like a wail, where you're hearing these powerful sounds from the soloist and from the choir that create like this explosion of passion where it's like, oh my gosh, what is happening? And Darlene, of course, is contributing to that. Yeah. Sing, Darlene. You can see from her mouth shape the commitment to the broadness of the vowel, and what's so cool is that she's introducing it so early in her register that when she goes up into the highs, I'm not surprised that she fills the room with her sound in that way. So she's going up into like her highs up to like the E's, touching a G, and Vision. Yeah. Hear the hell. And it's just, and you could hear Vision echoing the same vowel shape. I feel like blend is an understatement for Vision. It's just like, you hear the intention. It's so sharp, so pristine, so great. Yeah, her lines are so long. If you're listening to the beginning of her phrases and the ends, she is committing to the entire line. It's great. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and you're hearing like this duplicity between her register, not her, even her registers, but the tones that she's choosing. Can you hear that? It's just like, and I said this when we were talking about Karen Clark Sheard way back when, and I still had hair. Gospel is all about timbral manipulation. Manipulating the sound of your voice so that your voice can go from one extreme to the other in terms of frequency, in terms of intensity, adding, taking away to frequencies and distortion to emphasize your point. If you can take one sound and add some higher frequencies, then go to the lower frequencies, and then just give like if you're singing one note, like there's so many ways that you can shape the timbre of one note, and she's going from one side to the other constantly. It creates a dynamic experience. It's great. The lyric that they're singing is, "Can you hear the hammer ringing?" So they're referencing the actual act of the crucifixion of Jesus there. So that's, if you're wondering what they're saying, that's what they're saying. The tempo of the song combined with the subject matter gives a level of meditation and reverence. Now, because the people know this song and love this song, there's also a level of celebration for Richard Smallwood in his career. But I know for me, when I listen to it, there is this sense of the man that is the center of this genre is being crucified for crimes that he didn't do, with a record that was not his, and essentially being framed and betrayed into said position. And now we're getting to the climax, really, of this entire story. And even the way that it's portrayed in the Bible, there is this walk up to this specific moment. And so the music takes on this climb through the key changes and through the various choosings. And I love the way that he chose the singers. It's like there is this evolution of the scene to getting the full picture of what's happening. Yeah, and I love that we got a shot of her mouth here. Unsure, she's not even saying surely. She is she's eliminating the R. She's making the vowel tall. It's making for such an efficient use of her instrument to grab that note. Sure, right? It's very tall. Look. Yeah, surely. Yeah. Yeah, and so bends the note, and like I was saying, she brightens the tone, almost like a crescendo. Yeah, and I still love also the development of the ad-libbing, allowing the person to not just hear what's happening, but to hear her experience with it. There is story behind what she's saying, and I feel like pop doesn't necessarily connect with the music anymore as much as we used to vocally, in terms of vocal style, technique, and expression. I feel like that's something that's been lost. And especially when we get into live settings now, you're getting people that are hiding behind vocal chains of, pitch correction and all of these different things to hide the fact that they actually can't support carrying not simply a vocal, but carrying their audience into an emotional, vulnerable experience with musical excellence. And I feel like that's the theme of what a lot of us want as singers, to be able to carry people into a unique experience that makes people feel both their ears are pleased, but then they're also emotionally connected. And that's a lot of what I do with singers. And so if you are in the place where you're like, oh my goodness, I want to do that too. Let's work together. So I want you to go to reclaimyourvoice.ca/call and book a call with me. What we get to do there is have a conversation about where you are right now vocally and where you want to be and see if we're a fit. So go to reclaimyourvoice.ca/call and let's reclaim your voice. Reclaiming my voice. Anyway, back to Richard Smallwood. And I love the continuity here again. Like how long has Carolene Adams? I think she was singing with Richard since the 70s or the 80s. Editing O'Neill here to confirm that yes, she is the original. She sang this on the recording in 1984, and she's one of the original Richard Smallwood singers. Carolene Adams, everybody. Richard's known her a long time. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, she is sopranoing. And even the climax, it's like that brightness that we got from Darlene Simmons is being developed on another level. And then she even reaches even a or whatever she does. So this is definitely the climax of the song where they're like the words are saying, "Can you hear him calling his father?" Is a reference to when Jesus was on the cross saying, my God, why have you forsaken me? Which is actually a quote from Psalm 22. That's a whole other, that's like an entire different level of nerd. But we can have the conversation if you want. As a composer, I don't think, Richard Smallwood is definitely not the first composer to portray the crucifixion of Jesus, but his choices here show that he's thinking deeply about it. You can hear the wails and the expression from both the choir and from the soloist come into this point of climax. It's almost like there's these rungs that we keep on going up and up and up. It's like we're getting this sense of what it sounds like for someone to die this way. And I feel like this is something that's missing from pop music right now, where it's like there's this sense of risk vocally. There's this sense of emotional height and weight that's being expressed in something that's not just the music or the lyrics, but vocally we're hearing the extremes. Like there are times that she's singing and you feel it because and I think this is why he chose her. It's like the height that she's singing at, the brightness of the sound combined with vision, it almost feels like a funeral. There's that sense of remorse that comes to a height for somebody where they just start wailing. And it's like, and maybe that happens at other funerals as well. But I haven't been to a lot of other funerals, so I just, I don't know if that's the case. But it's like, I feel like she's at the cross mourning. Like that this is what it feels like to me. Can't you hear Yeah. Yeah, and you hear that the little N on the end. Heaven. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. So churchy. I love that. Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. Listen, it's just those little tail offs that just make it even better. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and everyone's cheering her on. You can see this sense of camaraderie even from the choir, where it's like, you know, you've been doing this for so long. I love the commitment and the celebration of even her. A lot of the time, soloists don't necessarily get their shine or get their flowers all the time. I know that at Richard Smallwood's funeral, we were able to see a lot of the soloists get a lot of shine. But even here, because Richard Smallwood had such a long career, like there are other people that get to have that shine as well. She's still developing those tail offs as well. Yeah. 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 Yeah, and you hear the addition of "I'm so glad he did." So she paints the picture and then she gives a response that is from her own personal experience with the material that she's saying. And I think this is again the power of gospel music, where it's like you have people that are vocally demonstrating and describing their experience, or describing the experience, and also their own response to the experience, and there's celebration in between those two things, and that all encapsulates the gospel ad-lib. And she's not the only one that's giving it, and Carolene is not the only one that's giving it. All of Vision, you can see them supporting her and continuing to express that, and that always happens in gospel. But I feel like pop music right now is losing that connecting factor, right? And so we're wondering, you know, why the music isn't clicking, why people are bored with music nowadays. The music just isn't giving. Like the singers, you know, don't know how to give, right? And so this is why I like looking back every now and then to just kind of take a look at how things were done and see and compare to now and kind of be like, let's bring a little bit back of, you know, a lot of these stylings that are the foundation of the music we know and love today. Yeah. Right? Sing.
Okay, editing O'Neill here again. I realize there is an opportunity for us to show the individual parts of this next really cool SATV section. So I decided to plot it out and show it to you guys so you can hear and see the individual parts. So here we go.
I love that. And of course, Richard Smallwood has a classical background, so of course he's going to bring some SATV. He's been a major example in gospel music. And if you want to hear a little bit more about my feelings about where gospel music is, you can check a little conversation that I had with you guys. I was actually wearing the same shirt about gospel music and its influence in pop music and why we need to bring it back. And if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, because this is the place where we help you to reclaim your voice, reclaiming my voice. I'm O'Neill Gerald, and I'll see you in another video. Bye everyone.